Mark Cuban has just issued one of the most serious warnings about the economy, and almost nobody is paying attention. He says what is coming next is not another correction or a mild slowdown. It is something far worse. According to Cuban, we are heading toward a reset that will expose how fragile the modern financial system really is. When someone like Mark Cuban, a billionaire who built and sold companies before most investors even understood the internet, speaks this urgently, you should listen. Welcome back to Crypto Equation, where we break down the biggest shifts in global finance technology and investing with clarity and facts. So what exactly did Mark Cuban predict? Recently, he said that most people have no idea how bad this really is. He was not talking about a single company or a stock crash. He was talking about the system itself, the cracks forming under inflated valuations, record debt, artificial liquidity, and an economy that has been living on borrowed time. Cuban's message was simple. We have been masking risk with money, and the mask is starting to slip. For years, governments and corporations printed, borrowed, and speculated as if consequences did not exist. The Federal Reserve balance sheet ballooned, corporate debt exploded, and consumers kept spending like the party would never end. But Cuban warned that the bill is finally due, and the people least prepared are the ones who think they are safe. He compared today's market psychology to the dot-com bubble that made him a billionaire. Back then, everyone believed tech stocks could only go up. Today, it is the same story, only with different names. Artificial intelligence, speculative startups, meme stocks, and even parts of crypto are following the same dangerous path: hype first, value later. Cuban's point was not to scare people, it was to wake them up. He said investors are repeating history because they have forgotten the feeling of pain. Low interest rates for a decade created a generation that has never seen a liquidity crisis. Now with rates higher and credit tightening, the reality check is coming. But here's the part most people miss. Cuban believes this reset could also be the greatest transfer of wealth in modern history for those who understand what is really happening. He is not betting on fear. He is betting on adaptation. Cuban's strategy has always been to study the pattern of panic and opportunity. When everyone over-leverages, he gets liquid. When everyone panics, he deploys capital. And right now, he is doing something few others are doing. He is preparing for what he calls a digital and monetary collision. He said the next crash will not only wipe out overvalued companies, it will rewrite how money moves. The convergence of artificial intelligence, blockchain, and tokenized assets will determine who survives the next decade. Those who fail to adapt will vanish, just like thousands of dot-com companies did in 2001. Cuban has highlighted blockchain and digital assets as the infrastructure that will remain standing after the smoke clears. He is not promoting hype tokens. He is focused on real-world utility. He has repeatedly said that the future of crypto lies in smart contracts, tokenized value, and real-time transparency. The winners of the next era will be the systems that solve real problems such as payments, verification, and trust. This is exactly what we have been discussing here on Crypto Equation. The financial system is shifting from speculation to utility. So how bad can it get? Cuban says worse than most people think because few understand how dependent the system is on cheap money. Once liquidity dries up, valuations collapse. Companies that only survive through debt will fall. The domino effect will hit housing, small business lending, and consumer confidence. But here is where Cuban's insight differs from a doomsday scenario. He believes that after the fall, something better will emerge. The system will rebuild itself on digital rails that are faster, cleaner, and more efficient. Every financial reset in history has created a new standard. After the Great Depression came regulation. After the 2008 crisis came quantitative easing and fintech. After this one, we will see the full integration of blockchain-based finance, whether people like it or not. Because when trust collapses, transparency becomes priceless. Blockchain is transparency written into code. That is why Cuban keeps saying not to focus on the price of crypto, but on the use case. He knows that once the old system breaks, those use cases will become essential. Cuban's warning also exposes human psychology. He says people always prepare for the last crash instead of the next one. In 2008, they feared mortgages. In 2020, they feared pandemics. Now they fear inflation. But the real risk is in confidence. The moment trust fades, liquidity disappears and panic begins. This time he believes it will happen faster than ever because markets are algorithmic and global. Fear spreads instantly. When that happens, traditional safety nets will not work the way they used to. So what does this mean for investors? Cuban's advice is simple. Simplify, diversify, and hold assets that actually do something. Focus on utility, not hype. He believes in owning real businesses with cash flow, strong balance sheets, and tangible value. But he also says that every portfolio should have some exposure to the new economy, digital assets, decentralized systems, and tokenized value. Whether you believe in crypto or not, the technology is not going away. It is being adopted by banks, governments, and major corporations faster than most people realize. Cuban's prediction is not that crypto will replace everything. It is that crypto will become part of everything. Just as the internet did not destroy television but absorbed it, blockchain will absorb finance. That is why he urges investors to learn before they panic. The next decade will not reward fear. It will reward understanding. The more you understand what is being built, the better you will navigate what is coming. Cuban also warned about what he calls synthetic optimism, the illusion that everything is fine because markets appear stable. He said investors have been lulled into a false sense of safety. Central bank stimulus programs and stock buybacks have created a bubble of confidence disconnected from reality. When that illusion breaks, the reaction will be violent. Yet Cuban says that is exactly when long-term thinkers will make life-changing moves. The reset will reveal which assets have real value, and this connects directly to the digital economy we study here at Crypto Equation. Cuban said the next wave of opportunity will come from assets that create transparency and efficiency in broken systems. That means blockchain-based settlement networks, real-world tokenization platforms, and AI-driven analytics. He did not name XRP directly, but the description fits technologies like Ripple that bridge traditional finance with digital infrastructure. It is the same logic Warren Buffett uses when buying infrastructure stocks. You do not have to own speculation. You own the rails. Cuban's message is not about doom, it is about readiness. Most investors wait for confirmation before acting, but by the time confirmation arrives, the opportunity is gone. Markets move fast and punish hesitation. The real question is not whether a reset is coming, but whether you are ready for what comes after. Wealth is not created during stability, it is created during chaos. Those who prepare now will own the assets that everyone else will chase later. Cuban also pointed out the impact of artificial intelligence on jobs, something few investors are considering. He believes automation will trigger a shock through employment and consumer spending. Millions of jobs will evolve or disappear, forcing the economy to reinvent itself. But again, Cuban is not predicting disaster. He is showing where adaptation creates advantage. Companies and individuals who embrace new tools will grow. Those who resist will be left behind. He said you cannot protect the past by ignoring the future. That is exactly the mindset every investor needs now. Whether you are in crypto stocks or startups, the key is to position yourself where innovation meets necessity. Cuban sees necessity everywhere: clean energy, digital payments, decentralized data. He believes that when the old system breaks, capital will flow into whatever works better. And blockchain-based systems simply work better. They are faster, auditable, and global. So what should you take away from this? Mark Cuban is not saying the world will end. He is saying the illusion will. The illusion that we can print prosperity, that risk can vanish, and that technology alone guarantees growth. He reminds us that fundamentals always win: cash flow, innovation, and trust. When those align, recovery happens. Until then, expect volatility, like we have never seen. Cuban believes the reset will expose fake growth and replace it with real utility. He ended with a statement every investor should remember: you cannot time the crash, but you can prepare for what comes next. That is the difference between fear and foresight. Fear freezes you. Foresight positions you. The coming reset will create chaos for some, but generational opportunity for others. The question is, which side will you be on? Cuban's final message echoed the philosophy of great investors like Buffett and Dalio. Patience and preparation beat prediction every time. The people who survive the reset will be those who used quiet times to learn, adapt, and build conviction. Because when the storm hits, it will be too late to build a boat. This is Crypto Equation, reminding you that the next decade will not reward those who follow noise. It will reward those who recognize patterns. Mark Cuban is not predicting the end. He is predicting evolution. And the investors who understand that today will be the ones everyone calls lucky tomorrow. Stay informed, stay patient, and remember the system always looks strongest right before it changes forever. I will see you in the next one.